the ability of the United States Congress to work in bipartisan fashion to pass something like trade promotion authority that is so complicated and so fraught with a lot of toxic politics. And based on a lot of good work in the Senate and some bipartisan work in the House, those odds were overcome.
White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest commenting on a split vote this afternoon. First, the House overwhelmingly defeats TAA, the Trade Assistance Act. Then it narrowly passes TPA, Trade Promotion Authority, which gives the president power to negotiate trade deals that cannot be amended nor filibustered. So what does all this mean for American workers? Let's bring in our panel. First, from Newsmax Washington, John Gizzi, our White House correspondent and longtime political columnist. Also joining us from Newsmax New York, Ed Pozzuoli, the president of the Tripp Scott Law Firm, and laying down the law from Newsmax LA, Larry Elder. So, John, I spent 12 years in the House, and this trade thing is kind of like Freddy Krueger. It ain't dead yet, despite an embarrassment for the president. Is that the right interpretation?
Pretty much, J.D. Let me put it this way. The president, for the first time in his tenure at that building right behind me, used his powers of persuasion on a specific piece of legislation. And at one point, he told members of Congress when he went up to Capitol Hill, a vote against this is a vote against me, end of quote. Well, you know the rest of the story. The Trade Adjustment Act, which was integral to the whole trade package, went down by 302 to 126.
And because of that, John Gizzi, turning to Larry Elder, a major embarrassment for President Obama?
I think so. The 800-pound gorilla in the room is NAFTA. Obama ran against NAFTA, the big trade accord between Canada, us, and Mexico. And a lot of Democrats still believe what Ross Perot said, that there was a giant sucking sound and all these jobs went down there. And now he does a 180, Obama does, and expects all these Democrats that have been trained to be protectionists to embrace legislation that they otherwise would have opposed. That's the problem. And on the Republican side, they don't trust Obama. They believe that this deal was negotiated in secret, has all sorts of mines in it, and that's why they voted against it. So all this comes down to credibility on Obama's side and the fact that Democrats have been trained to be protectionist.
Ed Pozzuoli, you great attorneys always have ways to get things done, and so too does the Congress. Again, this thing is not dead. I guess they're going to have a motion to reconsider that, ironically, Speaker Boehner put forth for the Trade Assistance Act. Do you think Mr. Obama will be more successful persuading Democrats to re-vote this TAA next week, or do you think that vote will even take place?
I'm not even sure it's going to take place. You know, the whole thing really is kind of E2 Pelosi. She really stuck it to the president here, and it's a little bit of an embarrassment for the president. He did put his personal credibility on the line, and the Democrats went back to their natural place to, protectionism at all costs. I think that Larry was right in his analysis. Conservative Republicans, though, have a real dichotomy. Do they side with the president or do they side with Nancy Pelosi? Most of the free traders try to pass it, but I got to tell you, I think this thing is dead.
Well, especially, John Gizzi, when you take a look at the fact that a whole lot of conservative Republicans in the base just think this is like kryptonite. They don't want to touch it. Well, you've got an election coming up, John?
Well, Congressman Steve Russell of Oklahoma, a man who served his country well by capturing Saddam Hussein when the former Iraqi strongman went into exile and hiding, said it best. He told his colleagues he was voting against it because he just did not trust the president in the machinations of foreign policy. And that was enough of an argument to win over a very lopsided margin, again, 302 to 126, to take out the Trade Administration Act.
Yeah, the TAA, but they're going to bring that back. Larry Elder, you're sitting out there out west on the left coast. What is your take on it? 20 seconds. Will they bring this thing back up before Tuesday as the rules require?
They'll try, but the real loser are the American people. Free trade is good for both sides. I know that it's been demagogue, but free trade is good for both sides. So the real loser here is the American people and the economy. And the reason Obama embraced it is because the economy is doing so badly. Even he became a free trader in his term there.
Ed Pozzuoli, Jeff Sessions, a noted jurist, has his problems with it. Is Jeff Sessions wrong? 15 seconds.
No, conservative Republicans have a lot of trouble saying, one hand complaining that Obama's a dictator around executive action, and then giving this fast track ability around these trade agreements. But I do agree this trade agreement would be good for the economy.
Ooh, okay, I take the other position. We'll talk about it again soon. Thanks for your time.